Welcome to Astronomy Daily. I'm thrilled to share with you another fascinating day in space and astronomy news. We have a busy show for you today with stories that span our solar system and beyond. We'll start with some reassuring news about that asteroid that has briefly caused concern. We'll settle that one for once and for all, then journey to the edge of space with Blue Origin's latest crewed mission. If you're a stargazer, you won't want to miss our coverage of an incredible 7-planet parade visible in the night sky this month. We'll also explore a compelling mystery surrounding Saturn's largest moon, Titan, and get the details on NASA's innovative new approach to reaching lunar orbit. Finally, we'll challenge everything you thought you knew about why Mars appears red. The answer might surprise you. So settle in as we embark on this cosmic journey through the latest developments in space exploration and astronomical discoveries. Let's get started. Remember that asteroid 2024 YR4 that made headlines back in December and again in January and February? Well, I've got some good news to share about this so-called city killer. Initially, NASA scientists calculated a concerning 1.3% chance of this asteroid hitting Earth in 2032. That probability actually increased to about 3% earlier this month as more observations came in, causing quite a stir in the astronomical community. But thanks to new data from the European Southern Observatory's Very Large Telescope and other facilities worldwide, we can all breathe a little easier. The latest analysis from the European Space Agency has dramatically reduced the risk, placing the probability of an Earth impact in 2032 at just 0.001%. To put this in perspective, we're talking about a space rock between 40 and 90 meters across, roughly the size of a building. That's millions of kilometers away. As ESO astronomer Olivier Hainaut explains, tracking these objects is like following the beam of a flashlight. It gets broader and fuzzier the further out you look. But with each new observation, that beam becomes sharper and narrower. And in this case, that narrowing beam is clearly moving away from Earth. While this particular threat has been largely dismissed, the situation serves as an important reminder of why we need to stay vigilant in monitoring near-Earth objects. It's a perfect example of how our planetary defense systems work, from initial detection through careful tracking and analysis, to ultimately determining the true level of risk these cosmic visitors might pose to our planet. So please relax and sleep well tonight. Blue Origin has just marked a significant milestone in their commercial spaceflight program, completing their 10th crewed mission with the new Shepard vehicle. The launch took place from their West Texas facility on February 25th, carrying 6 passengers to the edge of space in what was designated as Mission NS-30. After a brief 19-minute hold for technical checks, the new Shepard rocket lifted off, carrying its crew capsule to an impressive altitude of 107 kilometers above Earth's surface. The entire flight lasted just over 10 minutes, with both the booster and capsule making perfect landings back on Earth. Among the passengers were some fascinating individuals. Lane Bess, who was actually making his second trip to space after flying on a previous New Shepard mission. Jesus Calleja, a Spanish television host known for his adventure programming. Elaine Chia Hyde, who owns a media company working on AI technology. Dr. Richard Scott, a physician and medical company executive, and Tushar Shah, a hedge fund partner. Interestingly, the 6th passenger added a bit of mystery to the mission. In an unusual departure from standard practice, Blue Origin honored this individual's request for privacy, identifying them only by the name R. Wilson on their flight suit and mission patch. This successful flight isn't just about tourism. It represents something bigger for Blue Origin. As their CEO Dave Limp recently explained, these new Shepard flights serve 2 crucial purposes. They act as a testbed for developing new space technologies, and they're proving there's genuine demand for the profound experience of suborbital spaceflight, even with the substantial ticket prices. For the space tourism industry, this 10th crewed flight demonstrates that we're moving steadily toward a future where space travel, while still exclusive, is becoming increasingly routine and reliable. Each successful mission brings us one step closer to making space more accessible to more people. Time to get your telescope out and ready, though you will be able to take part in this event with just your naked eyes if you wish. In an exciting astronomical event, the night sky is currently hosting what astronomers call a planetary parade, with 7 planets gracing our view at once. While these celestial bodies aren't lined up like players on a marching field, They're all clustered on the same side of the sun, creating a rare viewing opportunity for skywatchers. Venus, Mars, and Jupiter are leading the show, being the easiest to spot with the naked eye. Saturn and Mercury are playing a bit harder to get, hovering close to the horizon where they're trickier to find. For those with some basic equipment, Uranus and Neptune can be spotted through binoculars or a small telescope. If you're hoping to catch this celestial gathering, here's what you need to do. Find a spot with a clear view of the sky, away from city lights if possible, and wait until after sunset. The planets will stand out from the surrounding stars by shining more steadily and brightly. Mars will be particularly distinctive with its reddish-orange glow. If you're having trouble identifying the planets, there are several stargazing apps that can help point you in the right direction. While these planetary alignments aren't extremely rare, they happen at least yearly with varying numbers of planets. Having 7 planets visible at once is still a special occurrence. 4 or 5 planets visible to the naked eye only happens every few years, making this current alignment particularly noteworthy. Just keep in mind that this cosmic performance won't last forever. The planets will gradually drift apart as we move into the northern hemisphere's spring. While we're mentioning Saturn, scientists have made a fascinating discovery about Saturn's moon Titan that's shaking up our understanding of this mysterious world. New research suggests that something dramatic happened to Titan relatively recently in astronomical terms, within the last 350 million years, that significantly disturbed its orbit around Saturn. The story begins with scientists studying how Titan loses energy as it orbits Saturn, a process known as tidal dissipation. Think of it like Earth's ocean tides, but on a much grander scale. Saturn's immense gravitational pull actually causes subtle changes in Titan's shape and motion as it orbits, similar to how our moon creates tides on Earth. What's particularly intriguing is that Titan's current orbit isn't what scientists would expect if it had been peacefully circling Saturn for billions of years. Based on their calculations, Titan should settle into a perfectly circular orbit within about 350 million years. The fact that its orbit is still elliptical suggests something must have knocked it off course relatively recently. The culprit behind this orbital disruption remains a mystery. It could have been an impact from another celestial body, the loss of an ancient satellite, or some other cosmic event we haven't yet considered. Whatever it was significant enough to leave its mark on Titan's orbital path, and the moon is still in the process of settling back into a stable orbit. This discovery is particularly exciting because it gives us a new window into Titan's recent history. It's like finding unexpected footprints in the snow. We know something happened, and now scientists are working to piece together exactly what that might have been. The research not only helps us understand Titan better, but also provides insights into how similar moons throughout our solar system might be affected by the gravitational forces of their parent planets. NASA's latest lunar mission, the Lunar Trailblazer, is preparing for an innovative journey to the moon that showcases the clever use of nature's own forces. This small but mighty satellite, about the size of a dishwasher, will hitch a ride on a SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket as part of the IM-2 mission, but its path to lunar orbit is what makes it truly fascinating. Instead of taking a direct route to the moon, the Trailblazer will embark on an elegant cosmic dance, using the combined gravitational pull of the sun, Earth, and moon to gradually maneuver into position. This fuel-efficient approach, known as a low-energy transfer, will take between 4 to 7 months, but will save precious propellant, making it possible for such a small spacecraft to accomplish its ambitious goals. Once in its final orbit, just 60 miles above the lunar surface, the Trailblazer will begin its primary mission, creating the most detailed maps ever of water on the moon. The spacecraft carries 2 sophisticated instruments, an infrared spectrometer and a thermal mapper, that will work together to reveal where water exists, what form it takes, and how it moves across the lunar surface. Particularly exciting is the Trailblazer's ability to peer into permanently shadowed craters at the moon's south pole. These mysterious regions, never touched by direct sunlight, could harbor significant deposits of ice, potential resources for future lunar explorers. The spacecraft will make 12 orbits each day, observing these areas under different conditions to build a comprehensive picture of lunar water distribution. This mission represents a new approach to space exploration, proving that sometimes smaller can be better. Despite its compact size and relatively modest budget, The lunar trailblazer aims to answer fundamental questions about our nearest celestial neighbor, while demonstrating how smart engineering and natural forces can work together to achieve ambitious scientific goals. To wrap things up today, here's something that might shake up everything you thought you knew about Mars's famous red color. Scientists have just challenged a long-held belief about why the red planet looks the way it does. While we've all been taught that Mars gets its distinctive hue from the same process that creates rust here on Earth, new research suggests we might have been wrong all along. A team led by Dr. Adamas Valentinas from Brown University has discovered that the real source of Mars's coloration is likely a mineral called ferrihydrite, an iron oxide that contains water. This isn't just a minor correction to our textbooks. It's a finding that tells us something fascinating about Mars's history. Using data from multiple Mars missions, including NASA's Reconnaissance Orbiter and ESA's Mars Express, along with ground-based observations from various rovers, the researchers found that ferrihydrite isn't just present in small amounts. It's widespread across the entire Martian landscape. What makes this particularly exciting is that ferrihydrite can only form under specific conditions, namely when there's plenty of water around. This discovery adds to the growing body of evidence that Mars once had a much wetter environment, meaning our beaches story from yesterday's episode gets even more credible. The red color we see today isn't just a random quirk of planetary chemistry. It's actually a signature left behind from a time when Mars might have been a much more hospitable world, with conditions potentially suitable for life. The research team is now eagerly awaiting samples being collected by the Perseverance rover in the Jezero crater. These samples, which will eventually be returned to Earth, could provide definitive proof of their theory and help us better understand Mars's fascinating geological history. It's remarkable how something as simple as the planet's color could hold such important clues about its past. Well, that brings us to the end of another fascinating journey through the cosmos. I'm Anna, and I've been thrilled to share these incredible developments in space science and astronomy with you today. If you're hungry for more space news and want to stay up to date with the latest discoveries, head over to astronomydaily.io. There, you can sign up for our free daily newsletter that delivers the most exciting space and astronomy updates straight to your inbox. While you're there, you'll also find all our past episodes available to stream anytime, along with additional content that dives deeper into the stories we've covered today. From asteroid near misses to the mysteries of Mars's red surface, there's always something new to discover in the world of astronomy. Thank you for joining me on Astronomy Daily. Until next time, keep looking up, especially this week, and wondering about the magnificent universe we call home.